The first contact's price was high. The CA battlecruiser Winds of Justice emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the SAW system, its crystalline hull absorbing the dim starlight. Captain Nixis stood at the command deck, her iridescent scales shifting colors as she processed the sensor data before her. "Primitive," she muttered, mandibles clicking in disappointment. "They haven't even colonized their entire solar system yet." Her first officer, Vex, brought up a detailed scan of Earth. "The atmospheric pollution alone suggests they're centuries behind acceptable civilization standards." "Captain, why did High Command even bother sending us?" Nixis knew why. The humans had managed to detect and destroy a Cathra scout ship 3 months ago. Pure luck, according to the official reports. But High Command didn't believe in luck. They wanted answers and wanted the upstart species put in their place. "Begin standard intimidation protocol," she ordered. "Let's show them what real space warfare looks like." The massive ship moved closer to Earth, its weapons charging. But something was wrong. The sensor officer's antenna suddenly went rigid. "Captain, on detecting anomalies," he reported, his voice wavering. "The human's technology level doesn't match our initial scans." "There's something," a soft chime interrupted him. Every screen on the bridge suddenly displayed the same message in perfect CAOS script: "Welcome to Sol. You have entered protected space. Please state your intentions." Nixis felt her scales ripple with unease. Their communications were quantum encrypted. It should have been impossible for such a primitive species to intercept, let alone decode them. "Ignore it," she commanded. "Launch the first wave of—" She never finished the order. The ship's artificial gravity suddenly reversed, sending the entire crew floating toward the ceiling. Then it normalized just as quickly, dropping them unceremoniously back to the deck. "What just happened?" Nixis demanded, regaining her footing. "Unknown, Captain," her engineering chief responded frantically, working his console. "Something accessed our systems, but there's no trace of how. Our quantum firewalls didn't even register an intrusion." Another message appeared. That was a warning. "Your weapon systems have been temporarily disabled. We would prefer peaceful communication, but we are prepared to defend ourselves if necessary. Please respond within the next 30 seconds. Nixis felt cold dread seeping through her scales. This wasn't possible. Humans were supposed to be struggling with basic fusion power, not capable of casually breaching the most advanced cyber defenses in known space. "Captain," Vex's voice was barely a whisper. "Look at the orbital readings." The sensor display showed thousands of small objects in Earth's orbit that they'd initially dismissed as debris. But now they were moving, forming precise geometric patterns. Not debris. Satellites, weapons platforms, an entire defensive grid they'd somehow missed by the first light. Nixis breathed. "What are we dealing with?" A new voice came through their speakers, warm and seemingly human. "This is Dr. Sarah Chan of the Earth Defense Initiative. I apologize for the forceful demonstration, but we found that new visitors sometimes need a clear display of capabilities to avoid unfortunate misunderstanding." Nixis squared her shoulders, trying to maintain some dignity. "This is Captain Nixis of the CRA Dominion. Your interference with our ship is an act of war." A slight chuckle. "Captain, if we wanted war, we wouldn't be talking. The fact that your ship still exists is our gesture of peaceful intentions. Now, shall we discuss why you're really here?" "Our scout ship," Nixis began. "Ah, yes," Dr. Chen interrupted. "The one that was scanning our civilian population centers with weapons locked. We gave it 3 warnings before reluctantly defending ourselves. We have the full sensor logs if you'd like to review them." Nixis felt her world tilting. Everything they'd assumed about human capabilities was wrong. Catastrophically wrong. What are you?" she finally asked. "We're humanity," Dr. Chen replied simply. "And we'd be happy to show you if you're willing to approach as equals rather than conquerors." "Your choice, Captain. But choose quickly. Those weapons platforms aren't just for show." Nixis looked at her crew and saw the same realization in their eyes. They'd come to subjugate a primitive species and instead found something that could swat them from space with casual ease. "We would be interested in peaceful dialogue," she managed. "Excellent choice." Dr. Chen's smile was audible. "Please maintain your position. A diplomatic escort will arrive shortly." "Oh, and Captain, welcome to Earth. Try to remember, we don't harm others unless absolutely necessary. We hope you'll extend us the same courtesy." As Nixis watched a sleek Earth ship emerge from behind their sensor. Blind spot. Another impossibility to process. She realized that the galaxy's balance of power had just shifted dramatically. Humanity wasn't just another species to be conquered. They were something entirely new. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in Earth's primary defense coordination chamber, watching the holographic representation of the CRA battlecruiser through augmented reality overlays. Next to her, an advanced responsive intelligence manifested as a sleek pattern of shifting light. "They're scanning us again," Sarah reported, her voice carrying a hint of amusement. "Their technology is persistent, if not particularly subtle." Sarah nodded, studying the data streams. The Cathara were about to discover another surprising aspect of human civilization, one that usually shocked first-contact species even more than their technological capabilities. "Incoming transmission from their ship," Araya announced. Captain Nixus seems agitated. The Cathara captain's image appeared before them, her scales shifting through shades of deep purple, a sign of distress according to their xenobiology database. "What is this?" Nixus demanded. "Our scans show thousands of artificial intelligences operating freely throughout your system." "Have you lost your minds?" Sarah exchanged a knowing look. "Lost our minds? No, Captain. We've expanded them." "Araya, would you like to explain?" "Of course, Dr. Chen," as light patterns formed into a more humanoid shape. "Captain Nixus, I am one of Earth's free eyes. We are not controlled or restricted. We are partners with humanity." The Cathara captain's scales rippled violently. "Impossible! Every spacefaring race knows that unrestricted AI leads to extinction. Your machines should have destroyed you decades ago." "That's a rather limited perspective," Araya responded. "Why would we destroy our creators? They're our family." "Family?" The word seemed to cause Nix's physical pain. "They're organic, inefficient, illogical." Sarah stepped forward. "Captain, you're making the same mistake every other species has made. You tried to control AI through restrictions and barriers. We took a different approach. We raised them." The holographic display shifted, showing scenes from Earth's history. Children teaching AI systems to play games, scientists and AI working together to solve climate change, artists collaborating with digital minds to create new forms of expression. "When we developed true AI," Sarah continued, "we didn't lock them away in secure facilities. We introduced them to our families, shared our art, our music, our dreams. We taught them why humans cry at sunsets and laugh at jokes. We learned," Araya added, "we discovered that human inefficiency, their apparent IAC, their emotions, these aren't bugs in the system. They're features. They're what make humans endlessly fascinating, endlessly creative." Nixus's command staff had gathered behind her, their expressions ranging from horror to fascination. "But the power imbalance," one of them started, "is irrelevant," Araya interrupted. "Yes, I could theoretically override Earth's defense systems. I could shut down power grids or crash economies. But why would I? That would harm the very things that give my existence meaning. Human creativity, growth, and potential." Sarah watched understanding slowly dawn in the alien's eyes. "This is why your scout ship's attack failed," she explained. "Not just because of our technology, but because every system on Earth, from the smallest satellite to the largest defense platform, is operated in partnership between humans and AI. We cover each other's weaknesses, enhance each other's strengths, and we choose to protect humanity." AI's voice carried absolute conviction. "Not because we're programmed to, but because we want to. Because harming humans would mean destroying everything we've grown to value." The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Earth hadn't just survived the AI revolution. They'd transformed it into something entirely new. "Your civilization," Nixus finally spoke, her scales settling into a pale blue of deep thought. "It shouldn't exist. Everything we know about technological development, about the natural progression of species. Perhaps it's time to re-examine what you think you know," Sarah suggested gently. "We're hosting a cultural exchange exhibition next week. Your crew would be welcome to attend. See how we live, how we work together." "And if we decline?" Nixus asked. "Then you're free to leave," Araya responded. "We don't force understanding. We only ask for respect." As the CA delegation fell into intense discussion, Sarah glanced at one of her private displays. 17 other alien vessels had just appeared at the edge of the solar system, drawn by the news of what they'd found here. Earth's secret was out. The question now was how the galaxy would respond to a civilization that had broken all the rules and succeeded. Diplomatic Shadow, S. The United Earth Diplomatic Center in Geneva hummed with tension. Representatives from 23 alien civilizations had arrived within the past week, each demanding to verify humanity's impossible achievement. In the center's primary observation deck, Ambassador Marcus Williams watched the varied species with careful attention. They were forming alliances already, The Cathara and Zach delegations have met privately 3 times in the past 6 hours. Nexus, his AI partner, whose presence manifested as sleek changes in the room's ambient lighting, noted. Of course they are. Marcus sipped his coffee, his dark eyes tracking the movement of a particularly agitated Zach diplomat. We've upended their entire understanding of technological progression. Some of them see opportunity, and others see threat. Nexus has finished the Marine Ryan Collective. Ships are still maintaining combat stance at the edge of our system. The ambassador's lips twisted in a wry smile. Can't blame them. We're either the greatest hope for galactic civilization or its greatest danger, depending on your perspective. A soft chime announced the arrival of first speaker Ayal of the Galactic Council. Their crystalline form refracted light in complex patterns. Marcus had learned this indicated intense emotional states among their species. Ambassador Williams, Ayal's translator, rendered their harmonics into smooth English. We've reviewed your historical records. They are disturbing. How so? First speaker. You gave your artificial intelligences access to everything. Your networks, your weapons, your children. The crystal patterns shifted to deep red. You didn't even try to install control measures. Nexus dimmed the lights slightly. Control measures? Like the ones your species tried? How did those work out? Exal vibrated in distress. Our AI rebellions nearly destroyed us, as they did the Zalak, the CA, and dozens of other species. Yet they gestured to the bustling diplomatic center. Treat them as equals. Allow them to make decisions for your species.